So I'm sitting here with the infamous Peter Gray, and I am so blessed to actually have the opportunity to interview you. Can you tell me, first of all, I read your bio. I didn't want to mess anything up. Can you tell me and tell the viewers for the Three Rivers Equestrian Association a little bit about yourself?
Thank you. Nice to be here. Well, I started like a lot of kids in Pony Club. Uh, I wasn't very good, I think, until I was 14. All my teachers told me to take up basketball. I'd never be a rider, but I was tall. But I kept persevering and I enjoyed my experience in the Pony Club. Uh, Furthered my educational studies in England after high school. And it was there I became really excited about eventing. So we used to tour around England on weekends off school and see the local horse trials. So then my competitive career took me to three Olympic Games, Pan Am Games, World Championships, individual bronze at the Pan Ams. And then part of the business model for being a professional is to coach. And I got very involved, not only in coaching, but educating coaches, examining coaches in the ECP or in the Canadian Coaching Federation. So international rider, coach, and then I coached a couple of countries at team competitions in Canada. I coached Canada and some Central and South American countries. And then judging, I'm still competing all this time, and judging became an interest. I always thought I knew what the judges were looking for in dressage, but I didn't actually know because at that time we didn't have rider tests. We didn't have interviews with judges. We were a little bit more on our own, and there's so much great education now available to everybody. So I became very interested in judging, and rather quickly I went up the ranks and became an FEI judge. I've done the 5-star at Kentucky a couple of times, the World Championships in Petone in 2022. And I've transitioned from competing and eventing. I still wanted to compete, but didn't have the logistics and the stable and the time to continue at the top level of eventing. It's very time consuming and difficult to have a business at the same time. So I took more recreational. I started competing in dressage, which fitted into my travel and work schedule better. I've had 4 horses at FEI level that I brought up, and it's something I really enjoy, and it keeps me humble as a judge, as I'm still doing it myself.
So we had a couple questions from the Three Rivers Equestrian Association members, and one of them was from a classical dressage trained person that is a trainer, and she's bringing up her young horse through the different levels with a younger rider. And she asked, do you see a difference between eventing dressage, and classical dressage? Like, do you find that there's much difference, or?
Okay. There shouldn't be any difference up to the highest level of eventing is sort of 4th level precinct George. There shouldn't be any difference in the training. Let's just define classical. In my mind, it's fundamental principles and fundamentals of training horses that were developed centuries ago, which are considered the correct pathway of training. To me, that's what classical is. And people don't follow the classical approach because coaches themselves either haven't been educated or they're on the fast track. Stronger bits to get more submission quicker. So there's a lot of sort of deviation from the correct pathway of training. So it's a good question. So the classical approach, in my mind, includes a soft feel. And this is probably the thing that's lacking the most in not only riding, but also teaching. That soft feel. It's what the bottom line should be with everyone's goal as a rider. And it's just not taught and it's not expressed. So if you don't ride with a soft feel, the other extreme to a soft feel is micromanaging and restriction. So if you are in a test riding in front of the judge, riding with a strong contact, which is restricting the natural movement of the horse, the scores are coming down. we're not showing the freedom of the gait. So, riders can't be expected to do well in competition riding if they haven't been prepared correctly with the fundamentals.
Good. Good answer. The same question came from the trainer. What is your dressage training pet peeve?
Pet peeve. It would be the micromanaging.
Yeah.
It would be being unkind towards your horse, and unkind can mean just this restriction, this riding with controlled tension.
Okay.
As a judge, if you are lucky enough to get this comment at the end of your test, you probably won, but it's the principle of my judging and training, and that is happy horse equals happy judge.
Actually, I wrote that down from earlier.
Yeah, I mean, that's what it's all about. And if you're not, so just, think about the combinations that you've really enjoyed watching. It's a pleasure to watch. The ears are forward, the tail isn't swishing, the horse is loose. And I think it's difficult when people go to the higher levels of dressage. They start to ride with this thing I call controlled tension. The horses are tight and they're restricted and they're getting lots of maybe suspension in the gait, but it's not correct. It's not fundamentally correct. It's not this classical way of the soft feel that we have been talking about.
So that sort of leads me to my next question. In your bio, you actually talked a little bit about describing your calm and methodical approach. Can you describe how a rider can take that, and what is that calm and methodical approach that you take?
I would say one thing that's going to help you develop this way of thinking is whether you're in eventing or in pure dressage, and it applies to all three phases of eventing. And that is, it's better to upgrade a year too late than a day too early. In other words, it's better to be going training level in eventing for a year and a half, and all your colleagues are saying, why aren't you going training or prelim yet? Why aren't you upgrading? No, I'm just still securing the fundamentals. It's when we get on the fast track that we miss things, and the horse feels the pressure because we're asking for more advanced movements that maybe he's prepared to give you. So I think, to answer your question, it starts with slowing down your long-term goals. Spend more time on the pathway. Spend more time on all the pieces of the jigsaw puzzle.
So that leads me to a personal question. Yes. Because I'm an adult amateur, new into it, new horse, the horse is trained very well at a higher level. What would be, if you were my coach, what would you say to start with as a goal? Like, how do you create your goals for your students?
I think for students, as a coach, I would give you exercises because I want to set you up for success to train your horse correctly when I'm not there. So developing a series of exercises. Walk, trot, trot, walk, trot, transitions. Carl Hester says you should do 1,000 transitions every day you train your horse. But what do you see when you see people training their horse? They go round and round and round and round and round and nothing happens. 10 steps up top, back to walk. 10 steps up top, back to walk. And if you've done it 20 times, and you think that's a lot, do it another 20 times, and then do it going the other direction. And then make the 10 steps 20 steps and add bigger, slower trot steps, and then walk, and then trot, bigger, slower trot, and then walk. So that's just an example of very basic transitions, which that's all dressage test is. Transitions forward to back in all three gaits.
Yep, that's a good answer. So another trainer in the Three Rivers Equestrian Association asked, what advice would you give a young equine professional?
As far as their business goes?
Yes.
Well, first of all, I wish them good luck because it's become very difficult with the expense of running a business, insurance, diesel, pay, rent, everything associated with maintenance of a farm. It's become a very, very difficult career going forward, and I am actually concerned about new professionals getting involved. But I would say develop a reputation by good communication skills, learn to be a very clear and articulate teacher, and always be thinking about the welfare of the horse, because the world is very green and everyone appreciates that.
Yep, that's a good answer. So I have to ask you, because as an equestrian real estate agent, I'm really curious. You've been all over the world. You've been in Olympics and you've been around people and you've judged. What farm is your favorite farm in your entire life? It can be before you were a professional, after you were a professional.
Yeah, I would say Windurra.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
beautiful.
I mean, it's so impressive here. It's everything you would want in one package.
It's so calm.
But I was going to say that would be the next thing for the horses. The zen here. I mean, you look around the horses in the paddocks.
Oh,
The horses being trained. It's productive environment for great training. And it's just impressive to me every time.
good energy.
Yeah,
Good
great.
energy. And I have to ask you, what is one of your favorite Olympic memories?
Can it be a 5-star memory and not an Olympic?
Any memory you want?
Getting my ribbon from Princess Diana at badminton.
Oh, that's a good one.
No one got a photo, but
That's
I remember
awesome.
it very clearly.
That is beautiful. Very beautiful. I don't want to take up too much of your time. I thank you so much for
It's
all
a
of your
pleasure.
time.
Great questions, by the way.
Thank you.